welcome everybody. Once again, I'm Sam Ferguson, Matt and Jenny's friend. Matt and I and Jenny all went to high school together, and Matt and I were roommates in college together. And here I am performing my first duty as a rabbi, as it were. In January 2009, several months after Matt and Jenny reconnected at a party in the Bay Area, Matt sent Jenny an email with the subject line, "Us?" At the time, the two weren't dating. In fact, they even lived in separate cities, but their relationship was blossoming. The email contained only a link to a news article. On New Year's Day, 2009, two childhood friends, aged 6 and 7, from Hanover, Germany, decided that they wanted to elope to Africa. So the morning of New Year's Day, 2009, the kids packed their bags, sunscreen, sunglasses, summer clothing, no passports, no tickets, no money, and headed off for the airport before their parents got up. The bride-to-be brought her sister along, aged 5, to be the witness. So they boarded a tram, they took the tram to the central train station and had plans to go to the airport. Fortunately, when they arrived at the train station, the police intercepted them and they were safe. The police did tell them, of course, that they could put their plans into action at a later date if they wanted to. So mind you, Matt sends Jenny this email. The two of them are not dating. They live in separate cities. And Jenny says, quote, "That's so cute. If you're asking me to marry you, the answer is yes." Of course, that was not the formal proposal, but the writing was on the wall, or in Matt's inbox, as it were. And several months later, they moved in together when nobody expected it. And about a year later, Matt proposed to Jenny, and here we are today. So, we are gathered here today to witness the union of Matthew Renner and Jennifer Thur in marriage. Of course, we are here today not just to watch them exchange vows, but we, all of us, are here today to ensure that we help nurture, cherish, and sustain the vows that Matthew and Jenny will make to one another in a moment. Many of you have traveled here from far and wide, from Massachusetts, from Connecticut, from Washington, D.C., from the Upper West Side, and, of course, from California. On behalf of Matt and Jenny, I'd like to thank you for being here today, and I would like you to promise, along with me, that we will, in fact, help sustain them through the future by sharing in their happiness, in their joy, through kids, through graduations, through anniversaries, through promotions, through dinner parties, but also to be there as a rock of support during times of tragedy and sorrow, should they need it. The problem with Matt and Jenny is that they've known each other for 25 years, or longer even. Rona and Catherine held them side by side as infants, so that would be 28 years and counting at this point. So how, in 5 minutes, am I supposed to tell the story of Matthew and Jenny? There is, of course, the kind of Hollywood story of their relationship, which is that after living apart for more than a decade, they simply knew that they were meant to be together. And precipitously, skipping all the formalities of modern dating, they moved in together before they had ever lived in the same city together here in New York. But there's also the story of Matt and Jenny, the story of long-lost friendship, of people who reconnect, who have come back to one another so many times over so many years, of people who simply pick up where they left off. As Jenny said, and these are her words, they never quite got together before because Matt was, quote, these are Jenny's words, Matt was unevolved. But fortunately, Matt has evolved, so here we are. They danced together at the age of 4, was unevolved, he is evolved. Matt took her to the movies as teenagers, and in his greatest gesture as a young suitor, he bought her a pager. I could also tell the story of compatibility, why the two simply work well together. Jenny recently told me that when they moved in together, this Berkeley girl simply became domestic. That she started to cook and wanted to nurture Matt and do everything that she could for him. They've developed a rhythm here in Brooklyn and are simply a wonderful couple. And Vasuda, my girlfriend, and I look forward to spending many, many more days and dinners together. Whatever their story, I can't really convey it. And what I asked Matt and Jenny to do was to tell me why they wanted to marry each other. Now, they haven't shared this with one another, so they will be hearing this for the first time, as you're hearing this for the first time. Jenny says of Matt, "I want to marry Matt because he gives me the space to be my own person and encourages me to be a better one. He wants me to pursue the things that make me happy, even if those things aren't about him. We are in love with each other and entering this union, but that doesn't mean that we're giving up anything that makes us happy or becoming stagnant. Matt helps me to realize and explore things about myself I wouldn't necessarily find on my own. He helps me to grow and change and tackle the stuff I don't want to think about. He supports me as an individual and as a partner. We understand each other's wants and needs and have a relationship with a solid foundation. I think back to the first time we went to a movie together in 7th grade when a matinee cost $4.50, or when I hung out with him at his 13th surprise party. The background story to that is Matt went paintballing, took off all of his clothes except his boxers, and left through the back of the house in just his underwear, and there was Jenny, the girl from King. I think of the time we sat out on the porch of a cabin on a trip we took in high school when we were 17 and talked about life into the night. I think about him coming to my 20th birthday and bringing me daisies. We have come of age together. We can only be ourselves because our history is so extensive. I understand exactly where he came from, and I love that." Matt says of Jenny, "Jenny is the funniest, most trustworthy woman I've ever met. Ever since we were kids, I've thought she was beautiful. She lives her life like she means it. She inspires me to do my best and helps me by making me stronger and more resilient. We also take care of each other and have a balanced relationship. It's clear to me that she has my best intentions in mind, and I have hers, which makes it easy to trust her and to ask for help when I need it. She isn't shy about telling you how she really feels. There's really no one else who I've ever been in a relationship who has come close to making me feel the way that Jenny does." Don't fall in love with me, that was Matt that said. Matt also told me the significance of having this wedding in New York. New York has been our rendezvous place, says Matt. I've always wanted to live in NYC. Jen also is such a displaced New Yorker at heart. When she had the chance to transfer to NYC, she jumped at it. New York is a challenging place and makes you readjust your lifestyle. It also puts you in your place in a lot of ways. Turns out you're not a big fish. It's just that all your past ponds have been, quote, hella small. We both learned about the crazy town together, which was a really big bonding experience. The challenges are always learning experiences and have helped us learn about ourselves and our relationship. Something about this city really helps make things clear. A good relationship, writes Anne Marie Lindbergh, the wife of the great aviator Charles Lindbergh, has a pattern like a dance and is built on some of the same rules. In explaining why, I think you'll see why Matt and Jenny's relationship is going to endure. The partners do not need to hold on tightly because they move confidently in the same pattern, intricate and gay and swift and free. To touch heavily would be to arrest the pattern and freeze the moment, to check the endlessly changing beauty of its unfolding. There's no place here for the possessive clutch, the clinging arm, the heavy hand, only the barest touch in passing, because they know they are partners, moving to the same rhythm, creating a pattern together, and being invisibly nourished by it. The joy of such a pattern is not only the joy of creating or the joy of participation, it is also the joy of living in the moment. One cannot dance well unless one is completely in time with the music, not leaning back to the last step or pressing forward to the next one, but poised directly on the present step as it comes. Perfect poise is what gives good dancing its sense of ease, of timelessness, of the eternal. When you love someone, you do not love them all the time in exactly the same way from moment to moment. It is an impossibility. It is even a lie to pretend to. And yet this is exactly what most of us demand. We have so little faith in the ebb and flow of life, of love, of relationships. We insist on permanency, on duration, on continuity, when the only continuity possible in life, as in love, is in growth, in fluidity, in freedom, in the sense that the dancers are free, barely touching as they pace, but partners in the same pattern. Well, after 25 years of courtship, I'm glad that this moment has finally arrived and that we can all be here to share this occasion with you. And I'd like to invite Jenny's mom, Catherine Thur, up to give us a little read.
Thank you. What I chose to share today with Jenny and Matt is a really beautiful, very old Native American wedding prayer. So I thought it really had some essential wisdom to it. So, now you will feel no rain. For each of you will be shelter for the other. Now you will feel no cold. For each of you will be warmth to the other. Now there will be no loneliness, for each of you will be companion to the other. Now you are two persons, but there is only one life before you. May beauty surround you both in the journey ahead and through all the years. May happiness be your companion, and your days together be good and long upon the earth. Treat yourselves and each other with respect, and remind yourselves often of what brought you together. Give the highest priority to the tenderness, gentleness, and kindness that your connection deserves. When frustration, difficulty, and fear assail your relationship, as they threaten all relationships at one time or another, remember to focus on what is right between you, not only the part that seems wrong. In this way, you can ride out the storms when clouds hide the face of the sun in your lives, remembering that even if you lose sight of it for a moment, the sun is still there. And if each of you takes responsibility for the quality of your life together, it will be marked by abundance and delight.
And now I'd like to invite Mick Renner, Matt's father, to come up and read a poem.
Brown Penny. I whispered, I am too young. And then, I am old enough. Wherefore I threw a penny to find out if I might love. Go and love, young man, if the lady be young and fair. Ah, penny, brown penny, I am looped in the loops of her hair. Oh, love is the crooked thing. There is nobody wise enough to find out all that is in it, for he would be thinking of love till the stars had run away and the shadows eaten the moon. Ah, penny, brown penny, brown penny. One cannot begin it too soon.
Well, we're getting close to the climax here, but I'm having so much fun that I don't want this to end. In a moment, Matt and Jenny are going to read their vows to one another. They wrote these vows to one another. Neither has read it to the other one yet, so again, they will be hearing this for the first time. I've also heard that this is the time in the ceremony when I'm supposed to reflect on the meaning and the nature of marriage, which is a little difficult as a 28-year-old with no life experience. So I spent the better part of the last week reading poetry and literature and searching the internet and talking to people who have been married for a long time and looking for anything I could say meaningful, profound about what we're doing today. Because in many ways, this ceremony seems archaic. We are not here at a religious ceremony. We're not at the social taboos that we once recognized no longer exist before marriage. You guys have been living together for a long time. And I searched and I searched and I searched, and I could not find what seemed to be the appropriate thing to say here. And it turns out that it was Jenny who I think said the best thing for why we're here today. When I first went out with them, I asked Matt and Jenny, why are you doing this? Why are we getting married? And I'm going to cry too. Jenny calmly, quickly, immediately simply said, I want to wake up every day and be able to call Matt my family. So the reason why we're here is so that Matt and Jenny can call one another family. So that today you came here as individuals, but tonight you will go to your home as a family. And now it is time for the vows. So Jenny, if you can do this, here's Matt's ring.
Matt, you're my best friend, my teammate, my teacher, my safe haven, and the love of my life. You're the sweetest and most compassionate person I know, and you're such a beautiful ability to look outside yourself and want the best for everyone around you. I love your fire and determination for life and to make the world a better place to be. I love your incredible sense of humor and how you can make me laugh even when I'm crying. I'm so proud of you and proud to be with you every day. I can't help but love you with every ounce of my being. And I don't want to go a step further in this lifetime without you. I promise to laugh with you, to keep you safe, to admit when I'm wrong, to always support you, to cook for you, to compromise. I promise to give you the space you need to grow and change, and to be open to growth and change for myself. To try not to turn the AC up until it's freezing, because I know you hate that. To always tell you I love you. To be honest. To give you the benefit of the doubt. To say thank you. To listen to you and to hear you. I promise to remember how lucky I am to be with such an amazing person, and how lucky we both are to have so much in our lives. I love the guy you've always been. I love the amazing man you've become. And I want nothing more than to spend the rest of my life with you. That's it.
When we signed our lease together, it asked us to define a relationship to each other. We had to fill it out. The first thing that popped into my head was partners in crime. I think I wrote that because I trust you fully to look out for me, to throw down with me, and if need be, to bail me out. Your love makes me so strong. You make me feel unstoppable. With this ring, on this auspicious day, surrounded by the people we love, I promise to love you unconditionally, to hold you and be there for you anytime you need me, to protect you, to be open, respectful, and accepting, and to honor and celebrate the awesomeness that makes you the phenom that you are. I love you so much.
Jenny, do you take Matt to be your husband? Matt, do you take Jenny to be your wife? May you always need one another, but not to fill an emptiness, but to help each other know your fullness. May you want one another, but not out of lack. May you embrace one another, but not encircle one another. May you succeed in all important ways with each other and not fail in the little graces. May you have happiness, and may you find it in making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it in loving one another. By the power vested in me, by the great state of New York, a state that finally recognizes everybody's right to marry, I now pronounce you